Today we're going to take a look at our first Christmas video of 2021. This video will feature peel style stickers, 3D layering, and velveteen paper. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the first of our card designs. You can see our little bird has been 3D layered with foam squares, and the foam squares just separate all the different layers. This will be available in a kit, and the kit includes both the push-out images and the foam squares. You'll also get a sheet of these beautiful peel borders and the season's greetings. Let's take a look at what I've done here. I've taken the background paper, and because this is a winter scene, I've just allowed the white frame to show to add that element of white into the winter scene. I've taken my peel sticker, set it in about a quarter of an inch from the edges of my card, and just allowed those lines to overlap. Added my season's greetings at the top, and then I've created this little square behind, it's actually sort of a rectangle, I guess, behind my little bird. And I've put little diagonals in the corners as if they were almost photo corners or something. But I think that turned out really cute. The next little bird is in this one, it's a similar design, but in this case, I've taken my plank board layering paper, which also is included in the kit, with these little chain borders. It's a mixed bag of peel stickers that are in there. You get all kinds of little borders on a single sheet. You'll also get a sheet of these bell corners, and these little birds are on the push-out sheets. They're little separate cutout images if you want to use them. They're just kind of accenting the pages in the books, but they make really useful card elements as well. This little tag here is on a tag sheet we've also included in the kit. The only thing you see here that's not included in the kit is the stickles. I added stickles for a little additional sparkle in my designs. Lots of our customers tell us they already have those, so I didn't put those in the kit, but everything else you see here is included. Let's take a look at the design of the card. I've taken the little kind of curb chain linked border and run about a quarter of an inch, eighth of an inch in from the side of the card. Then I've run an additional line, creating a second border inside, used my photo corners, and used those little fussy cut designs to just add a little bit of extra imagery there. Next up, this one is using another of the borders across the top of the sheet. This looks like it was serious fussy cutting, but it's actually fairly easy to do because they just kind of scallop in and out the little flowers. So it took me just a minute to do the fussy cutting to create the border with this. I didn't have quite enough border in the kit to go all the way around, so I put my tag in the center here to make up the gap. So if you wonder when you're making this card how I did that, there's no border pieces under that tag. In this one, you can see that I kind of followed the plank board in the center there. I created a rectangle and I put in a couple extra lines in the plank board. And I think that turned out really, really pretty. Okay, let's go to our next set. These little Let It Snowbirds. I like this one. One of the borders on our border sheet is this little scallopy border. So after I cut my layering sheet, I added the little scallops around the edge. I think that looks really pretty. And then I created that little rectangle in the middle. I added an extra little line about a quarter of an inch in and a quarter of an inch up from the bottom. and just put my topper on top of there, put one of those little tags out from the flowers, and I think that's as cute as it can be. These are simple, easy designs, but they really turn out very pretty. Here's an unusual design, but I love the way it turned out. This time I used straight edge, straight line borders off of my border sheet, and I once again brought that border in about a quarter of an inch from the outsides of my card. This time I used one of the little wavier borders and created these diagonal lines across my card. And then I put my greeting up on some foam squares and put my topper. The greeting is sitting right on top of my topper. The stickles really adds a lot to this one, doesn't it? Pretty and sparkly and easy to do. Only takes a few minutes once you have the idea to put these together, and I hope these ideas, you find these helpful. Here's another design with peel stickers where we're coming in a quarter of an inch. I'm using that little bit heavier curb chain border again, and I'm bringing that in about a quarter of an inch onto my layering paper. And this time I created two diagonal lines with a little bit lighter weight sticker just off the two corners. I only did two corners of this one. Added my little element off of my sentiment sheet, and I think it's as pretty as can be. Let's look at some seasonal scenery. Here's one where I have left the outside of the card white again, bringing in that winter design. This time I've cut myself a piece of alpine velveteen paper and layered that before cutting this next layer just a little bit smaller to allow that alpine paper to show. I've created a piece of alpine paper here for the center, added my season's greetings. I didn't use peel stickers on these other than the words, and just had my little scenery element there. I think this turns out really pretty with that alpine and then the kind of Nordic background there. It's so pretty. Here's another scenery design. A little creek bed coming down through. I've put stickles on the creek bed to show that it's water and that it's frozen outside. Added some more stickles to my tree, excuse me, to get a nice glittery effect in the tree, make it look icy. I've taken my velveteen paper and made my first layer. My second layer's cut down a little bit. I found that when I put the Merry Christmas on top of this kind of Nordic design, the Merry Christmas kind of disappeared. So in this case, I cut my next layer down a little bit so I could put my Merry Christmas in and have those really showcased against the alpine green velveteen paper. Then I've gone around my second layer with that kind of curved chain, heavier, a little bit heavier border. I think that turned out really pretty. And finally, this is another really simple design, but I like it. I've taken my first layer here, cut it down to be a quarter of an inch smaller than my card. I've put my bell corners in all four corners. I have actually taken my peel stickers and gone around the Happy Christmas here to kind of give that a little bit more shine. And this little embellishment was on my Merry Christmas sheet. I thought that was just a nice place to pop that in. Again, the stickles is used to create that illusion of everything being icy and wintry. Okay, let's take a look at some of these. The kit includes two 5x7 cards, and the others are all, in this kit, the others are all A2, which is 4¼ by 5½. So I've taken my navy velveteen paper and I've cut that down to 4 3/4 inches wide, 6 3/4 inches tall. I've added my little holly off of my Merry Christmas sheet here. I've cut another layering piece here to go on top, and I've cut that about an inch shorter. So that's going to be about approximately 5 inches long and about 4 inches wide. I've cut another little piece of my velveteen and set the entire piece of velveteen off a little bit to the side, and then set my 3D topper a little bit to the right, just for kind of an artistic element there. Added my Merry Christmas and plenty of stickles to that little bird. I think that's really cute. The 3D push-out sheets we're using in the background sheets were manufactured in the Netherlands. So here we have a classic Netherlands winter design with the windmills. And I think it's really fun the way that this windmill, this is another fussy cut. It's super easy fussy cut. It literally is just kind of a little scallop design across the bottom there that I followed with my scissors. But I thought it was fun the way this border fit inside of these two. It's just like this area down here. It just fit right inside those two kind of netted border pieces that they had there. And I thought that looked really fun with the border above it and below it. Here's another piece of my alpine green, just setting this topper out and making it kind of pop against that busier background. Little stickles on there to make it all glittery and wintry. I love this one. Look at this winter house. Now in this one, I've actually used, here's my card, and then I've used layer 1 is some of that plank board design. Layer 2 is actually snowman design that I had left over from doing the snowman. I'll show you next. Here I've put some of my corner stickers, the pretty Christmas bells. I've taken my tag and actually cut it down from the size that it was. On the tag sheet, some of the tags are actually pretty big. And so in many cases, I've cut those down and I have added my own borders around them to really showcase that gold foiling on the tags. And then the stickles really shows off this Christmas house nicely. And putting a little extra stickles on the leaves surrounding this topper, I think this is beautiful. Okay, here's the snowman I promised to show you. And my technique here was to, again, the snowman was just very, very busy when he was directly applied to the snowman paper. So what I did instead was I put down a piece of my navy blue velveteen paper, and then I cut my snowman background paper slightly smaller to allow the white, then the navy, and then the snowman paper to show. I have also layered up my center topper by taking my topper, putting that on top of some navy blue velveteen. This paper is so soft and so beautiful. It's very, very tactile. You'll have a hard time not petting it because that velveteen's so soft. But we'll put the velveteen on top of just some white cardstock, added my Happy Christmas and my topper on top there. And I think that's beautiful. Next up, similar design here in that I'm setting that snowman apart, although I did reverse this a bit. This time I covered my entire card. I think this is one of the few where I actually covered the entire card and didn't leave the white showing. But I covered my entire card with the navy blue velveteen. I put my season's greetings directly on my snowman paper, cut my snowman paper slightly smaller than my velveteen outline, and then I've layered up this topper, taking the snowman, then putting it on white, and then putting it on navy to create some nice separation from that busier background. Next up, here's our other 5x7 card. it's easy to make these into 5x7s using that background paper and just expanding the size of my layering a little bit. This time I've let the white show around the 5x7. I've cut this piece to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 for this layering sheet. And then I've taken some of the little scallopy borders off my border sheet and run a little scallop all the way around here. I've taken my snowman and I've created a rectangle of that navy velveteen, used some bell corners in the corners here, then mounted that on white. And this time I've taken the scallops and gone in with them. Here we went out, and here I used the same scallops and came in on this topper. Put that all on a little bit of my navy velveteen, and I think that turned out really, really pretty. Now, this particular kit that we're using also featured a lot of winter sports. Now, my remote family, not my immediate family, but my relatives are big skiers. And so I created these little tags, and I actually included this in the kit, this ski, eat, sleep, repeat, because they'll get a real kick out of that. And so I've kept the design of this one, because this is a little bit more masculine, I've kept the design of this one fairly simple. I've got my skiers mounted on some, I believe this is Ocean. This is the Ocean velveteen paper. Added my little tag, and I actually put my borders around my tag, and then just covered my card with some of this fun stripe paper. Another skiing card here. This is actually snowboarding, but I did the same thing. Ski, eat, sleep, repeat. I've got my white paper, and I'm not sure if this is Ocean or Navy, but they're both darker blue papers. I've got a layer of that. Then I've got my layer of stripe paper. I've taken my 3D element, and I cut myself, I believe this is a 3x3. It might be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, but I've cut myself a square and mounted that hexagon with the snowboarder inside the square. Then I've taken my stickers and gone around the edge of my velveteen. Done the same thing on the sticker up here. I've put the curb length border around my eat, sleep, or ski, eat, sleep, repeat. And then I've mounted that on just a little scrap of my velveteen paper to make that stand out as well and really match up with the other. And the other thing you can see that I'm doing here is I'm moving this border slightly over to the side just to keep it from being too symmetrical. Sometimes that's a mistake that we make when we're making cards, is we give too much symmetry. And it's good if we can kind of set some of the elements aside. Here's another skiing card, the third one, ski, eat, sleep, repeat. And we've got the little border outlined with my stickers. Once again, I've taken stickers and outlined my velveteen paper. That's all on the striped paper. Under that, we've got the velveteen paper and the white card. Now, a few of these toppers actually look like they're kind of celebrating the Winter Olympics. So we actually have a luge. On this one, I've taken that kind of Scandinavian print and put that down on my white card. I've outlined my Happy Christmas, and I actually cut this down considerably to fit the space I had available. I've put my luge participant on the navy cardstock, and then put white cardstock on top of that. Then I put my element in the middle. I created a couple tracks out of my stickers and gave it lots of glitter to show that he's on the ice. Here's one celebrating ski jumping. I just said Merry Christmas on this. These two little stars came off of my Merry Christmas season's greeting um, sentiment stickers. I've taken the background paper here and just outlined it in my little borders. I've taken my Merry Christmas, outlined it in the little borders, and then in this case, I've taken the hexagon and I've outlined that with my little borders also. And here's a 3-man luge. So we have our white card, we have the um, striped paper there, we have the Happy Christmas that's been cut way down. I took a piece of white cardstock and outlined that, and I wanted to kind of give the illusion of this going downhill, so I actually mounted this topper at an angle, and I think that looks great. And finally, one of my customers actually suggested these would be really good makes for like Meals on Wheels and that kind of thing. There's a topper set in this kit that actually celebrates dinner. Shows a number of different kinds of dinners, and she thought this would be a great one either for Thanksgiving, or in which case you might want to change the toppers, or for Meals on Wheels cards. And that sounded pretty fun. I've just used the background paper provided, my bell corners, my Merry Christmas, and the only additional thing I did here besides going around my card with the stickers is I just brought 2 lines across, and just for a different and interesting element. These little baubles came off of my Merry Christmas and Season's Greetings, so I thought might as well use them. Put those on there. Here's a little outdoor festival of some sort, and people manning a booth. So we've got our bell corners there. We've outlined it. I just simply put in Merry Christmas and put this little bit larger topper and just allowed that to kind of carry the day. One more food item here. What I want to point out on this one is the sticker work on this one, because this is really pretty, and it doesn't matter what kind of a topper you put in it, it's still going to be a pretty card. This time I have taken my borders almost to the outside. I mean, it's not even a 16th of an inch set in, just almost to the outside edge. They will work better if you set them in just a little bit like this. They won't be getting knocked loose. So I've gone around the edge with those. I've added my Christmas bell corners. I've come in and taken this layering element and I have outlined that in straight edge stickers. Then I've used my little scallopy borders and pointed those in from here. I've taken my Merry Christmas and I've outlined that in borders, and I think the sticker work on this one's really pretty. Really pretty. So you may be wondering, what is this kit and how do I get it? This kit is Peel Sticker Kit number 6. It is currently available as of this date at Simply Special Crafts. We're using this. Can you back up just a little bit, honey, so they can see these? So you can see these pages. Now, this kit is designed to make 12 cards. While you may be saying to yourself, well, you just showed us way more than 12. That's right. I did all 24 images in the kit just so that you could see the additional sticker ideas and things. But your kit actually is designed to make 12, although you will have way, way more toppers than what you need for the 12 cards. You can add your own cardstock, your own envelopes, and expand this way out. Or if there's some of those toppers like the Olympic ones or the food ones that maybe would not be ones that you would generally choose, great, skip them because they are kind of extras in this kit. You may notice inside the covers of these, because I import these from the Netherlands, some of the instructions can be at times in German. Don't worry about that. We know what we're doing with them. We're going to punch. These are push out images. You can see that they're nicely die cut. They pop right out and you layer them up. So as we go through here, you'll be able to see things that look familiar from the cards we just looked at. For example, there's the windmills, and here's the border I said that was an easy fussy cut. I just cut this edge off straight, and then I only fussy cut just the bottom of that image. All the rest of the elements on the page are nicely die cut, and they pop right out. Here's that Scandinavian background we looked at. Here's the pretty birds. They're usually 3 toppers to a page, and you just work starting with the largest topper and you start layering the smaller pieces consecutively. The pieces are numbered if that's a new process to you. Here's our Let It Snow paper in red. Here's our snowmen, and you can see each of these pages has an additional border if you want to use it. It's just there in case you want to use it. There's my snowman background paper. Here's those beautiful birds we started with. There's that plank board background. Here's our Olympians and striped paper. Here's our skiers. Here's some of those backgrounds that pick up the colors in the skiers. Here's our scenery. Another background sheet. And then there's some card ideas on the back cover as well. So you get this book. You get this sheet of sentiment tags that I referred to several times as we were looking at the card designs. You get this full sheet of border stickers in lots of different designs. Now, I will tell you, in doing 24 cards, I completely used up the sticker sheet. I didn't have more than one line of anything left. And there are lots and lots of lines of stickers there. Here's our Merry Christmas and Season's Greetings stickers. Here are our bell corners in gold. Here are card bases. You get 12. These are lighter weight than a lot of our card kits too. I want to just mention that. These are lighter weight card. This is, these are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card blanks. You get envelopes for those. You get 2 5 by 7 cards and envelopes for those. You get a sheet of Hobby Journal 3mm foam squares. You get some of those. I printed these for you, the Ski, Eat, Sleep, Repeat, in case anybody wanted to use those skiers the same way I did. This paper right here is called Ocean. Isn't that beautiful? This is Ocean velveteen, and it is soft and glorious to work with. Very, very fun to use this velveteen paper. Alpine green velveteen. And then we have our navy blue velveteen. 2 sheets of white cardstock for your layering elements. And this card kit is priced at $24.95, which is a great deal given the fact that the sticker sheets are $1.99 a piece. For 3 of those, you also have 3 sheets of velveteen paper at $2 a piece. The sentiments, the full book, if you're buying just the individual sheets of these run, honey, I think about $2 a sheet, and you have numerous sheets of those plus the backgrounds. So this is well worth the asking price at $24.95. It's a deal. But I have another surprise for you. We've prepared a second kit. Now, I did not make samples out of all of these. I figured that you could use the ideas provided in the first video and then alter those designs a bit and create your own designs. We have a second kit here. This is primarily featuring animals. Winter It's called Winter Wonderland. And we start with some winter flowers. I guess it's got 2 sheets of winter flowers right off. There's a beautiful sheet of deer. There's some polar bears, penguins, beautiful birds. Love those birds. And some owls. More winter birds. And then we get into our background sheets. You'll find it easier to actually take this book apart when you actually start working on these. But here's our backgrounds that are provided in our kit. There's our polar bear background, icy fractures. There's the plank board, snowflakes, another pretty snowflakes. Okay, so there's the book. Now this time, I've given you 2 sheets of lightweight white cardstock for layering. I've given you a piece of salmon velveteen paper. I've given you a piece called clover, and I've given you a piece called bay. You have the sentiments all done this time in silver. You have silver season's greetings and Merry Christmas. You have silver corner bells. You have silver multi-borders. Lots of different border choices on that border sheet. You have 300 GSM bright white cards. These are US A6, which means that these are 4.5 by 6.25. You have a sheet of Hobby Journal stickers. You have 2 5x7 cards that are done in 300 GSM. This is the heavyweight stuff from which we normally build our kits, so this is the good stuff. And if you buy both of these kits, the second kit that you purchase is going to be $10 off. So the first kit is $24.95. If you get both of them, it's $14.95 for the second kit, so $10 off. So it's what was already a great deal is a super good deal when you factor in the discount on the second kit. I hope you enjoy making these as much as I enjoyed bringing you the samples. I'm Debbie from Simply Special Crafts, and we'll see you next time. I'll link these kits below the video here so you can find them.